All right, so we have 5 elements on the canvas currently. We have 3 images here and we have 2 text elements. So let's look at some ways to navigate around the canvas. If I want to move the canvas around, I can manually do it by clicking on the canvas and dragging, and that will move all of the elements on the canvas, like so. Let's say I let go here and I don't want it to look that way. I want it to go back to the initial camera setting I had all of these elements at. I can click down here. This is the fit to screen icon. So I'm just going to click that and it will take it back to the original camera positions. Why don't we preview our current scribe? We'll do that by going up here and clicking this preview play your scribe button, and here we go. Okay, so that is what it looks like currently. Let's say I wanted to scratch that and I wanted all of the elements currently on screen to be drawn out and remain in the positions that they're currently in. I don't want them zooming and moving around or anything like that. I can click on this first element here on the timeline. I'm going to hold down Command on a Mac, which is Control on a PC, and I'm going to highlight all 5 of these elements. So you can see here that there are red boxes around all of the elements on the canvas. I'm going to clear camera position. Now all of the camera positions are cleared for all of the elements. Okay, so now that I've cleared them all, let's see what that does. We will go to the preview play button again. So by clearing the camera positions, each element is zoomed in and focused on within the scribe. Let's hit fit to screen again so we can see all of them. That will zoom us out to 61%, which you can see here. Okay, let's highlight all of the elements on the canvas. You can also do that by clicking on the element right on the canvas, pushing down Command on a Mac, Control on a PC, and highlighting them directly on the canvas. So by holding the Command or Control key, it allows you to grab multiple elements at once. Okay, so I've let go of the Command Control key right now, and I'm going to go over here on the bottom right of the timeline where it says Set Camera to Current Canvas Position, and I'm going to click that. So now once again, let's preview this scribe and see how that has changed. So because we highlighted all 5 of the elements and set the camera setting for all 5 of them at once, that held that camera position. So setting your camera position is really key when it comes to how you want your whiteboard animation to flow and come together. Now I like to zoom in if I want to emphasize a particular element. So let's say I'm going to click on this laptop computer screen here. It's the 3rd element within the scribe, which means it's going to be drawn out as the 3rd element within the sequence here. So now that I've got it highlighted, I'm going to zoom in here. So I've zoomed into 146%. I'm going to clear the camera position that it was last, and I'm going to set this camera position as the current camera position. So now we'll preview the scribe. So we can also preview it by going down and starting at the first element and pushing the preview play button from here. It zoomed right into the computer screen, and then after it did, it zoomed back out to show the rest of the scene here that had the original camera setting. If you're creating multiple scenes within your whiteboard animation. So let's say this is sort of one scene here, and then in the script or in your whiteboard animation, you are going to be going to a second scene. I prefer to move my canvas over. You can use this arrow here to move it over, and you can move it any which way you want. You can move it down, you can move it up, and then I would bring in my next element. So we've gone into the image library here. Let's type in desk. Okay, so we're going to use this image of this woman at a desk here. I'm going to drag this over here, and we'll move her over here like this. I'm going to drag the canvas right from the canvas there, and I'm going to make this image a little bit bigger, and I'm going to lock that camera position. I would like it to draw faster than 4 seconds, so let's get this image down to 1 second, and let's start from here. So we can start from how exciting in the timeline and see how it continues with this new element. So because I've set the lady here with her laptop as the latest element, and I want to start the second scene of my whiteboard animation, I have moved this element over on the canvas. But what I don't like is that I can still see this computer screen over in the left-hand side here from my previous scene. So I will move the canvas over more. I will click on this lady and put her in the center here, and then I'll clear the camera setting and set it once again by using the icons just at the bottom here. And now let's see how that draws out. You know what? This is taking too long to write as well. Be how exciting. So I can go in here and make it a little bit faster. We took it from 3 seconds in length for writing it out to 0.5 seconds. So let's click play. Okay, so I like that more. Now let's see what hitting fit screen now does with our canvas. So I'm going to hit fit screen. It's going to show every single element that's currently on my canvas. Another way that I can grab all of the elements on the canvas, let's say I want to move them, is I can highlight one and then I can hit Command or Control A, and all of them will be selected. I can drag them around like this if for some reason I would like to move them somewhere else within the canvas. If I would like to deselect just one, for example, let's say I want to deselect the lady, I would push down Command again on my Mac, and then I would tap that element, and then that image is unselected. So now I can drag them a little bit closer to the lady if I'd like, and then I'm going to hit Fit to Screen again just to see what it looks like. Okay, great. If for any reason I want to delete anything, I can't click on it and push delete. I have to actually highlight it and then go into the properties here and then hit the trash can. And then Videoscribe will ask me if I'm sure I want to remove this element from the scribe, and I will say yes. So that's an example of how you can move elements around on your canvas, either collectively or just a few elements at a time. And now we are going to check out some other transitions that you can use for your elements.